Ladies and gentlemen, don't adjust your screens wherever you are watching. It is Out of Pocket with Michael Davis. And yes, it is time to get out of pocket. I'm your host, Michael Davis, as I mentioned, joined by two very special people right here. I got my guy from the wrestling movement, famously known as the Hey Guys. We got Wayne Thomas in the building. And then we have a guy that I'm usually at opposing ends with because he's an Eagles fan. He hosted the Jawn Podcast last year, hoping it comes back, sometime soon. Maybe we'll count down the days to that. But we got Joseph Kamperman. His brother usually does the Camper Report, and he roots for the 49ers. So the two teams I hate the most that him and his brother cover. And so I, of course, had to go for my Cowboys polo, and not only a Monday, but a wideout Monday. So we'll be talking about wide receivers a lot in this episode. Just a reminder, you guys can comment, like, share. Twitter's being a little finicky right now, unfortunately. So we are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube. If you get to comment, your comment does pop up on the screen, just like Podcast Smitty says. What's up, Wayne and Joseph? He's saying Ben is the smarter brother.
One of us has won a Super Bowl in the last 20 years.
Okay, whatever. Well, tell us when you catch up to Dallas. Okay. I get it, guys. Okay, let's do mention one of those Super Bowls that the Baltimore Ravens won. Unfortunately, Jacoby Jones did pass away over the weekend. Horrible news coming out just 3 days away from his 40th birthday. He had just turned 40. 3 days after that, he passed away. He played 9 seasons, drafted 3rd round by the Houston Texans, played for Baltimore, and then short stints in San Diego and Pittsburgh. Yes, San Diego before the Chargers moved to LA. But Jacoby Jones, most famous for returning that kick in the Super Bowl, one that the Ravens beat the 49ers in. Ben and Shannon's team, just want to rub a little salt in the wound. Wayne, you're a huge Ravens fan. How did you react to this news of Jacoby Jones passing away?
It's tough, man. I can tell you, as a Ravens fan, we mentioned the Super Bowl kick return he did for a touchdown, which is still the longest play in Super Bowl history. But for me, the number one thing that comes to mind was the Mile High Miracle, which led him to that Super Bowl. The divisional round playoffs, Joe Flacco threw 70 yards, 30 seconds left in the game to tie the game, and then they eventually won it in double overtime. It was magical. I'll never forget it. I was at my parents' house when I saw it. I didn't think we had a chance to go, and while we're at it, I'll just go ahead and say Joe Elite Flacco, thank you very much. January Joe, which will always be in my house. That's my quarterback.
Eagles quarterback.
That's absolutely, yeah. That's my quarterback forever. But Jacoby was special. He was the life of the party. I mean, Baltimore knew him as just a easygoing, just fun guy, man. I mean, he never had a negative thing to say about anybody. Went out there and had fun. Just a great guy. 40 years old. It's too young. It stinks.
Yeah, way too young. It was super unfortunate. Joseph, do you remember having any memories of watching Jacoby Jones? Because I loved his energy, even as a Cowboys fan. Even if Jacoby didn't play for the Dallas Cowboys, I loved his energy. I loved picking him up in Madden because I was like, ooh, this guy is different.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you said the Mile High Miracle. That was one of the first things that it came to me. I remember that game so vividly. I remember the Super Bowl so vividly. However, the Super Bowl always gets caught up when it's not my team. I don't pay as much attention. But how could you forget the complete power outage, and then you've got the electrifying Jacoby Jones that ultimately I really believe that kind of play is what kickstarted this quote unquote Baltimore just dominance in the Super Bowl. Even though I think it was just, I don't know. I just feel like something clicked after that And you could attribute it to a lot of things, but the one thing is there's like you find the divas in the NFL that are ones that like to like party and celebrate on the sidelines, but then outside of it, they're a distraction to their team. Where I think we may talk to some of them about some of them today, but I think Jacoby like had fun, but then it was like there really wasn't anything negative about him. And when I saw it on Saturday, I kind of had to I was like, wait, what? Jacoby Jones? Like, it felt like he was just playing in the NFL like yesterday, which I know it wasn't, but yeah, gone way too soon. And my heart goes out to his family. I think my memory obviously would have to be the Super Bowl would have to be one of the top ones, but the Mile High, I mean, without that exceptional game, I mean, the Ravens team, I always knew something was special because it was Ray Lewis's last year. Yeah. And I just thought, I was like, this team seems different. But I mean, without him, yeah, they would not have gone on that run. So yeah.
A lot of people like to put it on Ray Lewis's last year, and they like to talk about that Ravens dominant defense. But in 2012, the Ravens weren't even a top 10 defense. I mean, it was all Joe Flacco.
It's true.
It was guys like Jacoby Jones, guys like Anquan Bolden, guys like Dennis that went out and did the thing, and it gets lost in the sauce because everybody remembers how dominant Ravens defense was, and Jacoby made that year special.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking it was funny because on paper, I don't think you'd look back in any of those receivers. Torrey Smith, because Torrey Smith was there, Anquan Bolden, Jacoby Jones. It's an odd one. When you think of those receivers on paper, right? But that was a special offense, and they were clicking. I mean, that's the only way to explain it. They fed off each other's energy, and none of them would retire as the greatest receivers or the greatest quarterback, but I think it goes to show you that when you're clicking and you're acting as a team, I mean, and you're playing as a team, you're buying into this belief. I think I will say, I'm not going to go on a tangent, but Ray Lewis, I think the belief is what really where it was. I think that's one of the things I'd have to credit Ray Lewis for. I am a firm believer in belief, because if you see some of these teams that win these games, that win the Super Bowl, some of times on paper, it's like, this is not a very star-studded team, but that belief factor is super important.
Yeah. Ray provided the inspiration. He provided the motivation. He always has. He's that guy. But man, I tell you, you look at that Ravens offense during that playoff run.
Yep.
We haven't seen much anything like it. I mean, Joe Flacco outplayed Tom Brady and all them guys. I mean, it was wild. And Jacoby Jones, big part of it.
Big part of it. Yeah.
He was a huge part, and we often we'll measure quarterbacks on their Super Bowl record, their playoff record. Did they ever win a ring? How many, what was their record? And what I would say is the Baltimore Ravens, I'm not just saying that after the events of this past weekend, anyone who watched that run in general would say the Ravens are not in the Super Bowl without Jacoby Jones. Correct. There was just so many heroic plays that Jacoby Jones made that postseason in order for him to win a Super Bowl. He was a first-team All-Pro in 2012, the same year as his Pro Bowl nomination. 9 kickoff returns for a touchdown throughout his career. He was incredible to watch, electrifying, if you will. And it was absolutely great.
Mike Tomlin tried to trip him too on the sidelines. I mean,
Mike Tomlin couldn't even stop him.
Is this a bold take in saying that he may have been one of the last kick returners that teams feared?
He's probably top 20.
I mean, I'm saying the last. I just don't feel like there's been a kick returner since him. And I'm not trying to shade on Kevontae Turpin, because I actually think he's a phenomenal kick returner for the Cowboys, but that is his name, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Kevontae Turpin.
Yeah. I don't know. I was going through a list of kick returners, and I'm like, I don't know. He was electric. People, when he got the ball in his hands, you didn't want, I know towards the end of his career it was a little different, and obviously, we're talking about the memory of a guy who passed, unfortunately. But
to be fair, I would say that is more of not just the talent, because like I feel like there's more talent in today's game just overall in general. But back in the Jacoby Jones days, the Devin Hester, the Josh
Yeah.
Cribbs, like
Yep.
the kickoff rules were a lot different.
Well, I know things have
I mean,
changed for sure.
that's a huge part of it
Yep,
too.
absolutely. Absolutely. I know that the change of the where the ball is kicked off at changed a lot of things for kick returns, but I just feel like, yeah, I mean, electrifying. You did not want to play against these guys. I mean, yeah, who can forget Josh Cribbs as well? It's kind of funny. They both played for that NFC North, but yeah, as an electrifying player, and
Now,
a good teammate.
now he was awesome. It really stinks to share that news on Outta Pocket Monday, a whiteout Monday. You see, I'm wearing my Cowboys polo, booking like a Mark mentioned it. He's like, "How about a plug for your latest article on Dallas?" I did write an article on fansfirstsports.com about the Dallas Cowboys in the cornerback room. Actually trying to stop some of the receivers we're going to be talking about today. Max saying wait until these new rules this year. I'm interested to see what this kickoff
weird
rules will be. I know we didn't plan for it in the rundown, but Wayne, do you have any thoughts on the new kickoff rules and thinking we may see a return of like good returners?
We may. I mean, it's such a strange thing to adapt the rules for the new kickoff based on what the XFL did, and then the XFL changed it and didn't do it anymore. So we'll see what happens. I suspect it might not even last that long. I might go back to the original.
Oh wow, Joseph.
They're trying to do something. I think they're going to revert back. They're trying to basically eliminate the unsafety of kickoffs. In fact, if anything, I feel like this could be worse. I don't think when you've got two people running full speed together, I don't really think there's any way to avoid injuries. I think at some point we're just going to see them doing away with kickoffs. I hate to say it because as an avid football fan, if they're truly moving away from impossible contact, I don't know. It's probably I'm a massive Dawkins fan, so I want to see people get laid out. I know it's obviously at the expense of hurt players, but I think a large portion of the players who play defense want to see that too, and I just feel like it removes an element.
And I'm sure Joseph can't wait to play some defense on the new college football 25 video game.
Yes,
if
sir.
You have seen it on our social media, we are doing a very, very special giveaway. We are seeing who our first 500 subscribers are on our YouTube channel. There's a couple more instructions you need to follow. We're at about 236 right now on our YouTube channel for Boom Broadcasting. If you go to that video, that should be on the top. It says EA Sports College Football 25 giveaway. You comment your team, you comment your console, and you're subscribed to our YouTube channel as well as following one of our social media platforms. You are entered into the giveaway. We're going to be scrolling down on the bottom ways to get in so you guys can look at it throughout the show and enter yourself, because as soon as that 500 hits, I mean, the contest is over. One lucky person gets EA Sports College Football 25. But don't worry, there will be perhaps more giveaways for more milestones we hit as a YouTube channel. But I want to make sure you guys get involved with this giveaway. Joseph, if you get the game, I don't know if you've entered yet. You're not technically a Boom Broadcasting personnel. Who would you want to play as, and are you excited about the game coming back?
I'm ecstatic. I have memories playing the final one. Some very fond memories. I also saw the graphics, and I'm like, I don't know why they're made by the same people. Why do the graphics seem better than any Madden game ever? I have entered. I would love to win. However, if I'm gonna play with someone, I don't know. I really would like to see. I know. I know the Manning is not a starter, but it would be cool to just say you play with him, because I don't know how he's I don't know how he's gonna actually pan out at the NFL level and whether he's gonna get a chance with Texas or not. That would be cool. I am a massive Travis Hunter fan. I'm not as big on the Sanders group. I think it's a little bit overhyped. I just like Travis Hunter. I think his story is cool, and I really like Deion Sanders too. Unfortunately, but no, I think what they're doing in Colorado is great, and I think they're kind of making a college that was kind of not forgotten about, but he's definitely made Colorado more relevant from the media advertising standpoint. I would love to play with any of those guys. And then probably the last one, I really like the QB out of Bama, so I think that would be fun to play with him.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I'm not going to badmouth Colorado. It's electrifying. By the way, I said our subscriber count was at 236. Now it's at 237. You know why? Because Kevin just entered. He just hit that subscribe button. You know how simple and easy that was to hit subscribe for a chance to win EA College Football 25, the new video game. Now, Kevin, be sure you comment in the comments what team you would play and what console you would be using, because we don't want to miss your entry. Kevin, how easy was that, man? And you guys shout out on Outta Pocket. This is a weekday sports show, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday as well. So we'll be live talking sports, football, basketball, baseball. We slip in a little wrestling here and there. Just like Mouthing Off with Mike, Wayne the Mall Thomas. They did an incredible nightcap last week. And Max saying, speaking of feared returns, prime time, Deion Sanders, perfect example of a great kickoff returner. But I did want to talk, guys, because there was a receiver who really disappointed. By the way, shout out Kevin saying he play as University of Pittsburgh PS5. PlayStation is better than Xbox, so right on. And keeping up the good work. We're going, hey, PlayStation is a whole thing above Xbox. Just my personal opinion. But there was a guy that, made some news this weekend, and I'm a little disappointed. I know, correction, I'm a lot disappointed in this player. Jordan Addison, the Vikings receiver, arrested on suspicion of a DUI. He also got arrested early on within the last couple years as well for, speeding recklessly. I will say this, Jordan Addison is super talented, and you don't come across talent that often in the NFL, especially at receiver, especially with how receivers are progressing and evolving throughout time. I do not want this to turn into a Henry Ruggs situation that happened in Vegas, but the Vikings should strongly consider, because since this is a second repeat offense for Jordan Addison, you already have Justin Jefferson. You have a rookie quarterback who could be easily influenced in JJ McCarthy. You're trying to put this organization in the right direction. You need to have the right mentality in your locker room. I would highly recommend, I never want anyone to lose their job, but at this point, Jordan Addison's losing it for himself. In my opinion, I feel like Jordan Addison and the Minnesota Vikings should part ways. I feel like the Vikings should move on from Jordan Addison, try to trade him somewhere for any draft capital that you might get, and hit the reset button. You have Jefferson to rely on. I believe you have TJ Hawkinson still, JJ McCarthy. Just get out while you can, because this is a repeat offense. Wayne, I am disappointed in Jordan Addison. Are you? And do you think I'm out of pocket for the next steps with Jordan Addison?
I get that thinking, and I don't necessarily disagree. I think a 3-strike process would probably be better suited for him. To be honest with you, to have a sit down with him, saying, "Listen, man, this is your career. This is your livelihood. This is somebody's potential life that you can ruin doing this crap." And this is the problem with that we get when we're throwing millions and millions of dollars to these young guys and expecting them to be mature and handle it in the best way possible. Some guys just don't have, I hate to say it, but some guys just don't have the focus that they should initially coming into the league. And I think with the right people behind him, and I think if the Minnesota Vikings rally behind him and say, "Listen, we know you're better than this. Prove it to us. Show us," and I think he has a strong future ahead of him as long as he gets his head straight. Sometimes it takes some tough love to do so. Like you said, potentially getting them off the team and trading them was one way of doing it. But another way is just showing them, you know, what can happen when you rally with somebody and you understand that people are only human. Young guys making this amount of money and making these mistakes, and who knows, you know, what type of structure they've had before they got into the NFL. It's just not so black and white. Things happen. So I would like to see the Minnesota Vikings just love on them, you know, show them what it's like to have a family and tell them, listen, this is what you need to do to get your head on straight and to succeed in an organization. And if you can't do that, if you show us again, then you're out.
Yeah. Joseph, what do you think is the appropriate action to take when it comes to Jordan Addison? I don't believe I'm out of pocket for saying the Vikings should move on.
So I'm going to take a little bit of it. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think you are out of pocket. No. I will say what concerns me the most about this news is this is on the eve. Well, not the eve, but this is on very, very short period of time past the fact that they lost a really special individual to a car crash just a couple of days ago. And I don't know if this is correlation, if there's some emotions there. If there's not, I'm even more disappointed because there's no excuse to what you've just lost a teammate to something that you could have very well caused, and not just taken your life, but the lives of potentially others. I don't have time for that. As a general manager, you do have to look at, unfortunately, the financial side of things. They did invest a first-round pick in him. They are dealing with their own issues with Justin Jefferson, who has just finally settled now with his baby mama because he didn't want to pay child support on a baby he did not want her to have. So here they're dealing with their own stuff. He's not in the news as much, but that was just released. I think it was yesterday or even today. So that's an interesting dilemma. I don't think they should move on from him, but this is now a second infraction. And I would argue that, yes, you have a young quarterback and a young quarterback who needs to be molded. I don't know much about JJ McCarthy. I don't think the number one thing coming out of college was how well he led his team. I don't think that was I think he's a fine young man, but I just don't think this is somebody you want in your team if he's going to be this much of a distraction. I would have a conversation with him and say, look, this can't happen again. And I'm sure they've had that conversation already. And then I think you put it on a tightrope. The bottom line is from a financial standpoint, it makes no sense to trade him because they're not going to get a first round pick from him back. And I hate to say this because from a moral standpoint, they should have cut his ass yesterday. But I think you have to balance it. I really would like to give him, this is a young guy, give him another chance. I'm all for second chances. I just think you've got to put some standards out there. And, it should be obvious that driving drunk is never something that should be tolerated, but I would put it out there one more time. And this young man's got to turn his life and get his life together because this is just something that couldn't have just affected him. This could have taken somebody else's life. So yeah, I don't have tolerance for that if I'm a general manager at all.
Yeah, I don't have tolerance for it either. I mean, to be super transparent, like the only car accident I got in as a child was, being hit by a drunk driver, like sideswiped. Me and my dad and my brother were on the way to a NASCAR race over in Bristol and like 10 minutes away from the track, like at like 10:30 in the morning. Like there was no excuse. And it's like, taking a little of the personal stuff out of it. Like, I mean, this is messing with somebody's life, which is not cool. It's horrible. It's gotta be the worst. Scotty, by the way, saying, when's the giveaway? So I am glad you asked because the giveaway is for our 500 subscribers. So once the channel reaches 500 subscribers, which we're at 237 right now, we are nearly halfway to our goal, which is huge, huge growth. I mean, we are only on our third week on the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel, the new home of Outta Pocket. This sports show has been around for almost 2 years and has moved to the new home of Boom Broadcasting. In our third week, we are halfway there to the 500 subscriber goal. So if you are one of the first 500 subscribers, you are entered in. Be sure to comment your team and your console and follow us on one of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you're entered into the channel, but you have to be one of the 500 subscribers to be eligible. And it's literally clicking the button. I mean, our guy earlier, Kevin, did super easy, saying he just entered, also saying what team and console he played for. Boom. How easy is that right there? And that's what we want to do. Like, we've had so much support over the first couple of weeks. We're entering week 3 right now, and we wanted to show love. Like, Wayne and Joseph are, just guests of mine on Outta Pocket, and Wayne's made a few appearances. Joseph making his first appearance on Boom Broadcasting, but Boom Broadcasting, an entire team of content creators bringing you all different sorts of content, and we all pulled our resources together to make this giveaway possible. So if you do want that, it's just one. And yeah, Sky saying, yeah, I've been followed since 57. Y'all got a lot compared to a week ago. Yeah, we have turned it up. Super excited that we're getting our name out there. We're getting our brand out there. And I started this platform basically to help these content creators. So, there's not all these like different podcasts with like 8 to 10 subscribers on their YouTube channel. No, we can all come together and help grow with one another, giving people more than just sports as well. We do have a strong sports content. We do have strong pro wrestling content, but we're more than just sports. So appreciate the support, Scotty. And also there will be more giveaways in the future beyond 500, just to throw it out there. Since you guys are listening, you got a special little treat right there. There's a new show, by the way. And I said it's Wide Out Monday, which means white as in WHITE. That's why I'm wearing the Cowboys polo, but also wide out as in a wide receiver, because there is a new series on Netflix called Receiver. Several different people being showcased in this series. Justin Jefferson, who we've mentioned on this show, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Adams, and not a wide receiver, George Kittle. I would personally have preferred George Kittle not be in this show, A, because he's not a receiver. B, if we're going to say a tight end as a receiver, that title goes to Travis Kelce, not George Kittle. And number 3, there's so many other wide receivers you could showcase. We're showcasing 2 49er guys, which I'm sure Podcast Smitty, I'm sure Ben Kamperman, Joseph's brother, would love. But come on, there's so many. CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys, just to name one. You got DJ Moore in Chicago. Like, there's so many others you could have showcased other than 2 49ers, and one of them being a tight end. I wanted to ask you guys, are you excited about this show? Are you going to watch? They did a show on quarterbacks last year, and of those 5 people that are going to be showcased, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Adams, and the guy who shouldn't, George Kittle, who do you think does have the stronger 2024 and removes the distractions out of his mind? Wayne, do you have any idea?
I think St. Brown's the most focused. He's been focused since he's been in the league. He's got a chip on his shoulder. The guy can recite every single wide receiver that came before him. Hell of a work ethic. St. Brown's special, man. Going into your 3rd year too. That's that year. He's a blast. He's a blast to watch. If I'm picking, I'm a betting man. St. Brown.
He's got St. Brown. Joseph, is that a consensus for you?
So, yeah, for me, I think I was going to pick St. Brown. It's definitely not Jefferson. I think he'll struggle with a new quarterback. When I mean struggle compared to previous years. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on a limb and say Samuel. And the reason why is because I think this Brandon Ayuk drama is going to get in the way with this 49ers team. It already has. It's continuing to do so. And secretly, and Benjamin's going to scream me saying this because I've been Team Ayuk, but secretly, Deebo Samuel's been working in the lab. He's been working with the new receivers. I think he's kind of doubled down on being a good teammate, which is something Brandon Ayuk could take a page out of. And I'm not a fan with the whining that Ayuk's doing. I'm going to say I think Samuel, if he stays healthy, has a chance to really be good on this good team. And yes, I'm going to watch. I don't think I'm going to watch like real time, but I think I will go back and watch it, probably binge watch it one weekend. Yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. I could also see, obviously, I think St. Brown is probably one of the favorites here. Dude's a freak of an athlete and great guy.
Samuel Samuel's got to stay healthy first.
Yeah, exactly. That's the number one.
I love the guy, and he's built different, but he's glass.
This is true. Yeah. I if you didn't see the if he stays healthy caveat, because yeah, the guy can't stay healthy. He's a great receiver, but yeah, built to glass.
Yeah. That's been the knock on Deebo Samuel moving forward. And in terms of like the receivers who would probably, have the best year, I mean, I would automatically take Deebo and George Kittle out because there's so many different options on the San Francisco offense. And you know what? That's okay in terms of team aspect, but in terms of a personal player's performance, it takes Deebo and George Kittle out of the running for just this question: who has a better 2024 of those showcased in this series? Amon-Ra St. Brown, obvious choice, but man, there's probably going to be more attention given to St. Brown than in years past. You got Justin Jefferson, who, depending on the drama around Jordan Addison, we just touched on, who knows who else is on the field. Justin Jefferson might get triple teamed. Let me throw out the wild card in all of this, Davante Adams. I mean, this dude plays a little, pissed off, like, can I say that? Because it's been evident that he's hurt. He is the number one option in Vegas. There's no debate about that. And I believe he's going to help out his quarterback because his quarterback's pretty inexperienced. His quarterback's pretty young. Aiden O'Connell. If O'Connell starts the entire year, he's probably going to have to rely on a guy who did play with Aaron Rodgers in the prime of his career. So I would highly expect Davante Adams to have a bounce back year. Podcast me saying who's going to be Devontae Swing's quarterback. Don't know who you're talking about with Devontae Swing. Are you talking Davante Adams? Because if so, you totally misspelled his name. Wayne, do you think he was talking about Davante Adams?
Yeah, he's talking about
the only Devontae that matters, and that is Devontae Smith, the Eagles receiver. Just kidding.
I'm glad you said just kidding.
I don't like Davante Adams because I kind of think he's a diva, and him and Aaron Rodgers can go and like buy a beach house together and live for the rest of their lives and happily ever after. But yeah, I'm not team Devontae.
I love Davante Adams. I think he's one of the better receivers we've seen over the years.
This is true, but yeah,
I love the guy. I love that he went and said, "Listen, I want to go play with my guy Derek Carr, no matter what anybody said about him." I mean, that was his bro. I like Davante Adams. He's getting up there in age, though. I just don't, compared to these young guys, I don't know.
Yeah,
man, it'd be interesting. So we correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we all went three different receivers with that. Wayne took St. Brown. Yeah. Joseph, did you officially take Deebo?
I'm gonna stick with Deebo because I think this is the year he stays healthy. I think here's the deal. In response to it's a super talented team, but look at the Lions. I mean, they're loaded at running back, loaded at tight end. They've got some really good receivers. I kind of think it could help St. Brown because it could take some pressure off of him, but it also could just be there's so many mouths to feed. And the same could be said for the 49ers offense. I don't have confidence in Devontae, the quarterback, with Davante Adams and Justin Jefferson until I see them play. So I'm going with kind of I feel like it's the guy who obviously can't stay healthy, but super talented. Yeah.
I do want to say one thing since we were throwing some shade on Kittle.
Oh, what?
Listen, the guy is a star, man. You watch that show, tell me he couldn't be on that show. He is fun.
He's a great guy.
Put the camera on that guy because no one can do it better.
I love Kittle.
And having fun. That guy, he's a blast. I love watching him.
Same.
I mean, he would be great on, let's say, a show called Tight End. That could feature Travis Kelce, could feature Sam Laporta, Jake Ferguson.
The camera turned it down. Travis Kelce turned it down, which is why I think they didn't go with the tight end show, because I have a feeling that if Travis Kelce had said yes, they probably would have.
Wayne?
The cameras were already there. Might as well get Kittle on the screen.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, whatever. We're saving our production crew a little trip. But yeah, This is Out of Pocket. This was your first Out of Pocket. We do a quick 30 minutes, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday on Boom Broadcasting. We do a lot more shows, whether it's wrestling, whether it's comedic relief with Podcast Smitty, saying they would all watch for Taylor Swift if Travis Kelce was on this show. Booking Like a Mark saying Kill has no business on that show. I totally agree. Booking Like a Mark might be one of my favorite watchers live right now on the screen. Him and my guy Kevin, who said he subscribed and entered the giveaway, as well as Scotty entering a week ago, probably like Thursday when we announced this. So it's been pretty crazy. It's been a really fun time on Boom Broadcasting. Be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our content, and that you are entered into our EA College Football 25 giveaway when we reach 500 subscribers, which could be really soon. That's kind of surprising. I thought it'd be a little ways away, maybe a few weeks, but the rate we're going, this could be announced very soon. So if you want that video game, I would suggest you share, because the longer it takes for 500 subscribers, the longer it takes for us to announce a winner of the giveaway. So ramp it up. Maybe even this week, here in the next couple of weeks, we'll get 500. We'll do our drawing and hopefully get to give away this gift, because I'm excited, because y'all have supported us and we just want to return the favor and we want to return the generosity. But Out of Pocket itself will be back tomorrow, Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do a Top Rope Tuesday. We'll either talk football or basketball, depending on what's in the news. But this will be not the last time you see me today, because tonight I am happy to announce Mouthing Off with Mike hosts a nightcap immediately following Monday Night Raw, and yours truly, back to back weeks for Monday Night Raw, is going to be a guest. And 200 subs on the Mouthing Off with Mike channel means that he would have to shave his facial hair into the desired Dirty Dom stash. If you're a WWE fan, you get that reference. Super excited to do that. He's in the comments right now. Yes, sir. Monday Night Mics. Ooh, that's a good marketing. Monday Night Mics.
Mommy and Mike in one night.
Yes, sir.
Mommy and Mike. Oh,
Mike.
Mommy and Mike. If you're a wrestling fan with Rhea Ripley, you get that reference right there. But yeah, Out of Pocket will be back tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel. For Michael Davis, Wayne Thomas, and Joseph Kamperman, go follow my guys on social media. Go follow Boom Broadcasting on social media, and we will see you back here tomorrow evening at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time.